I already know what's going to happen. Different between me and you, it's that you need to see to believe. I first of all believe and then I see. That's different between us.
I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
Self-talk and visualization are the two keys to my success.
Yeah, I believe in manifestation. I believe in putting a rocket of desire out into the universe, and you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key, is like people still, they sit around going, when's it gonna come, when's it gonna come, when's it gonna come, when's it gonna come? And that's the wrong way. You're facing the wrong way, you're facing away from it. You have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
You attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract. What's on your mind, yes.
It's like the law of physics. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. It's just, ask any physicist, they'll tell you that it's true.
As a neuroscientist, what do you attribute when people talk about visualization? It's a huge factor in improving technical skills.
Just the act of physical visualization, of sort of imagination of that motor skill, it's about 50% as effective as physically performing it too. And it's 50% as effective, what I mean there is, in changing the plastic connections within the brain.
Whoa.
So even just visualization, passive play, as it were, still can actually cause a rewiring of the brain beneficially.
I became obsessed with the power of the mind. Meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them.
Make something manifest that you want. If this is the case, then for me, starting very easily again, it starts with the smallest area inside of yourself. It starts with the smallest aspect. Let's just take it as the world of thoughts. But the world of thoughts is not graspable. The only one who knows about it is yourself.
I'm able to visualize and dream like nobody's business. And I know that I can create a vision that many people can't. I started being able to take negative shit and be happy. That dreamer mentality just would always fuel me.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. Everything is possible. Go. Go. And take it whatever way you want to do.
And they talk about manifesting. It's real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real.
Our feet become heavy, lungs start to bleed, and our hearts racing. It's in this state that we get to find out the true value of our dreams. For we all know what's right and wrong in a sedative state. We all know when we're relaxed exactly the person we want to become. The question is, do we believe we can become it? Without that belief, every journey will run into a debate. What are you gonna do? How bad do you want it?
But are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about? Let's face it, it's you against you out there.
Like attracts like. You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're gonna draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. So you're like a magnet, If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
I first of all believe and then I see. So I don't have any doubts that I will be the first one to knock you out. And I don't even want you to trust in that, because if you're starting to trust in what I'm saying, you don't want to show up, and I need you to show up.
You lived up to your promise to be the first person to knock out Max Holloway.
I call this because I knew it. It's a surprise for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I knew it. I said it and I did it.
It's an unwavering faith. Like, it don't matter how fucked up that shit might look. It don't matter how much it feel like it ain't gonna work.
Delusional.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional?
Nah.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. That's simple.
No one want to do this shit. You're the baddest motherfucker around. You're the baddest motherfucker ever lived. And I kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality.
It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no days off. There's no, not willing to grind and everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining and these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
Nearly every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. Every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. And it's the same for everybody watching this. Every single word you speak is self-hypnosis. Every single thing you say out of your own mouth is almost more important than the things you hear from other people.
Amen.
You can't be sitting there saying, I'm depressed, I'm unlucky, bro. You can't be saying these things because you're reaffirming them within your mind.
That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive.
So didn't you write yourself a check? I heard that you did. Is that true?
I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe. And I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. And I put it in my wallet and I kept it there and it deteriorated and stuff. And so I'm kind of here to say that visualization does work. And of course now I've had to change my goals because I'm kind of getting close to that one. So, wow. So I just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, go eat a sandwich.
So I went into my mental lab and realized, but I want to be great. So I had to create a mother that was great. And in my mind, I'm really big on visualization. And people may think it's all kind of bullshit. Believe what the you want. Went in my mind, I said, okay, I want to look like this, I want to feel like this, and I want to have a mind that is cast iron steel. That was the biggest thing I wanted. I wanted to hit obstacles that most people up, including myself, but I didn't waver. I didn't fear. I didn't run away. I just stayed and marinated in the fucking fear, in the suffering. And through that, building Goggins, I will become Goggins when necessary. I started putting that visualization of the guy I wanted to create. And in that water, when things got hard, when I was training on my own, Goggins would appear. Goggins would appear. When David Goggins would come up, Goggins would smack him the fuck down and say, no, I'm gonna drag you through this. And that's kind of how it happened. Over a period of time, this man evolved. Goggins became the guy that can withstand all kind of torture and pain and keep coming after you.
Find your vision and follow it. You see, I think it's the most important thing that we have a very clear vision of where we go.
It's a perception of reality that's stronger than the reality itself. And that perception doesn't exist. It's not something tangible you put your hand on. How you see it is a lot different than what the reality actually is. In that sense, your perception of who you are is a stronger reality, judgment, than the actual reality.
I'm a professional MMA fighter with a record of 4-1. I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and without a doubt, you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt. I was a plumber. I was an apprentice plumber. I did a year in that, and it just wasn't for me. It's either all or nothing in the game I'm in. You have to. If you're not training twice a day, if you're not dedicated, you're not going to go anywhere. So I will be where I want to be. I'm 100% confident that I will make it to the top. I have the skills, I have the dedication, and it's something I really, really want. So words can't even describe, but it will happen, and I'll let you know when it happens. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
Who on this fucking earth would still be going right now? You are. You are.
If you got dreams and visions, I got news for you. God is in the make your dream come true business. A lot of y'all better than me. I'm just gonna flat out tell you. Most of y'all ain't done what I had to do to get to where I am today. You just ain't had to do this type of dirt. You ain't been homeless, so what truth? You ain't had to scrap like me.
You actually want that something which is sitting inside of you gets into direct resonance with what we have available on the outside. 100% hard work helps. Simple like this. So I wouldn't say that just think about it, just make your wishful thinking, just make your prayers, depending on what type of prayers. But having something that you really want, spending your time to already manifest it in the mind as good as you can, meaning make it feelable. Make your thought already start to go into the area of you can feel it. You can feel it, how it has entered your life. This is already a first step of, okay, now it's not just thinking about it, now you even feel it.
A motherfucker only gonna call it delusion until it don't work for nobody else to see, but for the whole world to see. And then once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now, your delusion becomes, oh, he was a fucking genius. We didn't see it when he saw it. We didn't understand it when he did. He always figured this thing was the thing to do, and he's stuck by that shit.
Who knows? Maybe it's fate, or maybe it's that. Maybe it's just that I believed, you know, I always believed.
You visualize something maybe, or you go into deep prayer about this thought that you have. This is what I regard as being a prayer. It's not just talking words. It's about diving in and trying to create that feeling.
I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was go and be the greatest and never lose, and to I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization.
Everything comes from the imagination. Everything comes from, before this microphone was a microphone, someone somehow thought about it. Now, how can I speak into something that would amplify my voice and blah, 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 blah. And then this came out of it. Power of the mind, I can make things happen. I can go into levels, I just can't tell the world, but these levels that I've manifested things that I'm just I still shock myself, how the fuck did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting, this is to do with my personal life. And I'm I made that happen. And this is through this manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just shit, I really made that happen. It's scary, man.
I convinced myself all the time. In everything I do, I'm the best. So that was talking to myself. And I think normal life, everything starts there. I cannot tell you you're the best. You have to convince yourself first that you're the best.
Absolutely.
It's like a smoker. I give you a perfect example. When we win big trophies, when we win, they go on the stage, they say, thanks to my family, thanks to my friends, thanks to my whatever. The only one you have to thank, first of all, is yourself. Because yourself are going through everything. You're going through the stress, you're going through the whatever suffering, the training, the recovery, the eating.
Struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. If it's meant for you, I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Now, this is your time.
Anybody can win, anyone at all. If we start studying these statistics, I think we'll arrive at the conclusion, geez, I better start thinking for myself rather than follow everybody. Most people, they get a job, they look around, they see how everybody else is doing their work, and they start doing it the same way. They should stop and think, I wonder if any of these people know what they're doing. Just fall into line, take a number, be like everybody around. That'd be great in the animal kingdom. But human beings aren't supposed to live that way. I think we should make a few waves. We should maybe stand out, be different. Not for the sake of being different, but because we are different. We all think different thoughts. And I believe we should start to think and build images in our mind of what we'd like to do and then set out and do it. And what we have to study, I think, is how does this non-physical part of my mind work? What happens when I think? Where do thoughts come from? How was this chair built? Somebody had to think. Thoughts are everywhere, and we pull thoughts into our mind and we build pictures or images in our mind. It's a non-physical side of ourself that's doing that. If I can build an image of something in my mind, I'm quite capable of building a physical replica of it in my world. So if I build an image of me as a happy, relaxed person, I can live like that. If I build an image of myself as being prosperous, I can become prosperous.
You know, I always dreamed as a kid that, you know, it was possible to score 80 or 90 or 100. I always just like, you know, had a dream. You know, like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things. You just kind of, you know, just, you know, that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine where we'd be playing, and, you know, the smell of the arena and all sort of stuff. And I would see myself, you know, getting hot, you know, and score 10 straight points. And then, but in a dream, like, why would you ever interrupt that? Like, you're not going to have a dream and be like, okay, then he misses his next 6. Like, it's not going to happen. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And before I go to sleep, I'm like at 120 points, you know?
You'll never know the limits of your possibilities until you charter the waters of the impossible. Everyone wants to be the lawyer, wants to be the doctor, wants to be the inspiration, wants to be someone of principle. No one wants to be forgotten. You can't always be the pupil. You gotta be the master. You gotta be the guy that's creating the material for others to try to study from. You can't always ask a question. You're asking a question because you don't believe in the journey you're about to embark on. Mentally, you must believe it before you physically start it.
You should tell everybody what it is. You're on a path right now that you believe in. Let everybody know what's weak about you, because that's not who you are anymore. Just by saying it. It's right there, you're publicly saying, I'm better than this, I want to move on. I'm not scared of this. This thing is no longer gonna be a handicap for me. I'm no longer gonna be the servant of it. I'm not gonna be the victim anymore. I'm gonna identify the problem solve, fix it. When you do that, not only are you a betterment of a person, but you have the belief and the confidence that what the fuck's next?
You wrote a lot about visualization.
I want to know how the race could go, how I don't want the race to go. In a perfect world, how the race should go. I started visualizing at like 13, 14, just so everything around me was taken care of when I got to a meet, so I could be completely relaxed. I mean, visualizing just, it just mentally prepares you, and you can kind of check that box off.
Here's another thing. What do you want to be? You know, I don't want to be anything. I am everything I want to be. And I'm already there. You know, they're always going to want. You know, I always have the attitude that I have. And I always felt like I was a black belt.
I have been feeling like the UFC World Champion since the day I arrived here.
Did you have faith maybe back then that your time would come and that you would be able to explode onto the scene as you had?
If I didn't, it wouldn't have happened. I had to believe in it. I had to feel it. I had to have faith in it for it to happen. So you're damn right I did.
You have a clear, if you have a clear picture in your head of something is gonna happen, a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, and nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? It is destined to happen, and that's what happens. You know what I mean? It's perfect. When I was a kid, I used to always visualize stadiums and like, even when I was playing football, I'd kick the ball against the wall and I'd pretend I scored a goal, and I'd run off and I'd be raising my hand and visualizing a arena full of fans. And that was something I'd done as a kid out on my own. I like just running around kicking the ball. So I always had these visions of something, but I just didn't know what it was.
This is something that we talked about a lot as a basketball team, is about how to be in the moment, being able to visualize what might happen in those times. Michael so embraced this, and I think that was the beauty of his game, is that he had all these abilities to adjust, not force his own predetermined idea, but allow those things to come together for his game.
As I go into situations that people don't know the outcome, I've already experienced them in my mind, just playing tricks with myself. So it didn't seem new to me, and I wasn't afraid to fail with it. Once I began to understand that, I became a master of the game of basketball.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in, all you had were blueberries. Yeah. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it, you called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything. So
That's where I am right now.